Thank you, Mr. President, and through you to the members. I rise today in support of Amendment 47, Mental Health, Suicide Prevention, and Transition Services for Veterans. And I want to begin my remarks by thanking the senator from Ashland and wish her well at home. You know, she's not feeling well. We're all missing her presence here today, and we certainly all hope for a swift recovery. But I do want to start today by saying thank you sincerely for your work on these provisions today to support mental health services and augment mental health services across our state after and during what continues to be a very challenging time for many people across the Commonwealth who really need these augmented services and have not been able to get access. We need to pass this bill very swiftly. So I do want to start by thanking Madam President. I also want to thank the senator from Arlington for her tremendous leadership on this piece of legislation today, and of course the senator from Truro for leading the charge here today and for making sure that we were able to get this bill to this place as quickly as we have been able to get it here. I know that it's been a hard, long-fought battle, and thank you so much for your continued efforts and advocacy on this. Mr. President, this is a pretty simple provision here today. Those of us who were in the legislature in 2016 might remember working on a comprehensive bill regarding veterans services, and under the leadership of Senator Rush, we were able to pass that piece of legislation to augment services for veterans across the Commonwealth. This particular provision was an amendment that I had actually gotten adopted into the House version of that bill, working alongside of Chair Paracella at the time and Chair Rush. We got those provisions adopted, and at the time I had made the case that mental health services for our returning veterans have been very limited. And I was reading at one point back then, I remember, a book by one of my sheroes, Brené Brown. And the book was called Daring Greatly. And in this personal growth, personal development book that I was reading in my spare time, I remember reading a page that talked about RWB, which is an organization here in Massachusetts that serves veterans and provides services for veterans who have come back, who really need the opportunity to engage with one another, find supports from one another, have that peer engagement, and they provide some of those opportunities. But one of the things that RWB had highlighted to Dr. Brené Brown, which she highlighted in her book, was that the rate of veterans coming home after being in the service, the rate of our veterans committing suicide is higher than the rate of those killed in the line of duty. So if you go into the service and you serve and you come back from that service, you're actually more likely to die of suicide from taking your own life than you are to have been killed in the line of duty and service to this country. And that broke my heart when I read that. Our servicemen and women need supports, not just when they're sent abroad, when it serves us, but when they come back, when it serves them. They need our help. They need access to mental health services, amongst other things, but they need supports. Some having seen devastating tragedies occur right before their eyes and experience things that many of us cannot even fathom. Post-traumatic stress disorder is real. Mental health challenges that occur upon their return, trying to re-assimilate back into our local communities and get normalized, so to speak, has proven to be incredibly challenging, according to our local veteran service agents and our local veterans who've spoken out about these issues. And back in 2016, this body, who I want to thank with all my heart, recognized those challenges alongside of the House. And we adopted provisions to create a commission to report back to this legislature on how we could best address some of these mental health challenges and combat that post-traumatic stress disorder and some of these anxious, depressive, or what have you tendencies that have been really negatively impacting our local heroes. But when we passed that, friends, the administration never actually implemented what we asked them to implement. So we told this administration that our veterans deserve these types of mental health supports. We created this commission. We put a deadline on this commission, and it was ignored, and it was never conducted. And folks were never pulled together to be able to address this issue. Now, that was over 5 years ago that we gave these instructions to this administration. And for over 5 years, our veterans and their families who suffer from mental health challenges, post-traumatic stress disorder, and other various challenges have therefore suffered as a result of being ignored on this issue. More lives lost to suicide than those killed in the line of duty. I know that this membership agrees that it is unacceptable to continue in not taking any action, and it is disgraceful that we have not taken action in over 5 years on something that this administration was called to action to do. So this provision, Mr. President, simply seeks to reinstate what we already did and put some teeth into the law mandating that this administration actually produce the report that was requested and required of them over 5 years ago that they have yet to do. It is beyond past time. Our veterans deserve better, and I want to thank this membership for giving them the best that we have and passing this important provision today. Thank you so much, Mr. President.